today we had a little delivery. It's the Enlightened Equipment Revelation 20-degree quilt. So what I thought we would do is we'll do a quick little unboxing and initial thoughts, and I'll compare it against my Zpacks Full Zip 10-degree sleeping bag, my Thermarest Corus HD quilt, and my Aegismax outdoor, if that's how you pronounce it, sleeping bag. So let's open it. It says here not to use blades to open, so we won't do that. Don't know what I will use then. A pen. Okay, so that's what it's like. It's a wee sticker, and this is the storage bag, and it's got the care instructions printed on it, which is pretty cool. I think it's like, it feels like cotton. It's also got in the bottom what your actual quilt is. So mine is the Revelation in the 850 DT, 20-degree Fahrenheit, long, wide, and it's got the weight on it and the order number. What's this here? 100% organic cotton fabric and business for freedom. So ethical stuff, that's always good. This isn't a custom one. I didn't want to have to wait. Just now it's something like 6 to 9 weeks or something. You can get, if they've got them in your size, off the shelf type ones, and that's like almost immediate shipment. And I actually quite like the colours of those ones. They're different colours depending on the actual different temperature ratings, etc. It tells you all that on the website. I'll put a link down below. But I quite like the sort of navy blue and the charcoal inner. It's quite good colours. Here we have like a Down Tech label, PFC free water repellent down, it's saying. So let's get it out. What's that? A bundle of straps. So these are the straps that go around your sleeping mat and actually clip on to the quilt. Now on the Thermarest one, it doesn't go around the quilt. It's got these things that stick on. I found most of them ripped off. That's not a very good system. Anything else in here? Nah, because it's cotton we can do that. What are you creeping about for? You want a treat? Right, so the first thing that comes to mind is the fabric feels kind of almost, maybe that's like a sort of water repellent type thing. And I can actually, when it's sitting on my thigh, I can actually feel it warm. Now, of course, because this is the Revelation and not the Enigma, it's got a little button and it's got a little zipper. So you can just unzip that, pop the buttons, and that turns it into quilt mode. And I like the idea of having the quilt, especially because this is going to be my warmer weather sleeping bag. The Zpacks Full Zip 10-degree is my winter bag, and I've slept in that down to -6 degrees Celsius last winter, and it was totally fine. At 0 degrees Celsius, it was actually warm and I had to turn it into quilt mode. So that was really good. But as you can see, it's quite bulky, takes up quite a lot of room. You know, if you've got that in your, like say I've got the Arc Zip, Zpacks Arc Zip, that's a lot of room it takes up. Let's go in it and see what it's like. Enlightened equipment tell you, you don't fasten these together then pull it. You're meant to actually take these toggles, pull them up towards the bag, then clip the toggles and then cinch it down. And that actually manages to cinch it up that I can, if I push my finger I can get it in, but it's widening the elastic, so that's, I don't think that should cause many drafts. If I get my feet right down in the bottom, yeah, with my arms in it, it's almost fully closed. Don't think you're meant to buckle it together to use it in this sort of mode. And if I bring it up to the top of my head, it's actually longer than I expected. You know, you can do these two things together so that when you're round, you can cinch this up. Oh, and this is falling out as well. Medium stuff sack. So what I'll do is I'll stuff it in. Better take this off. I'll see how big it is in relation to my other sleeping bags. We'll see how easy it is to stuff in here as well. But you can definitely feel that there's plenty down in. Now I will be using a Zpacks medium stuff sack to put this in. And I've got one here, so we'll stuff it in there and see how big it looks in that as well. One good thing about something like nylon, a nylon stuff sack, is it will stretch, so sometimes it's easier to pack if it's on the tighter side. So there we go, that's the size of it. Compare that to the Zpacks Full Zip 10-degree long and wide. Could compress this a wee bit more. So yeah, I mean the 10 degrees going to be, this isn't apples for apples, of course. This is a 20 degree and this is a 10 degree. So there's quite a big difference there. But just out of interest, I basically can't take this for anything other than winter because I have to use my dedicated winter backpack. That'll fit in my Arc Zip perfectly. So what I'll do is I'll put this in a Zpacks medium stuff sack and we'll see how well it goes in that. I need to get one. So there you go. It basically fits in there perfectly. Now if you compare that to my Thermarest Corus HD, this is a 20 degree quilt, which is -6 degrees Celsius, and this is a 0 degrees Celsius, which is a whatever in Fahrenheit. But I do know that if I put this and this, I can get it compressed down a lot more. Because there's so much less down in this compared to that, like crazy. You can see light through it like anything. That's the reason why I got that, because this just, see, even at 14 degrees at night, I feel cold in it. It's no use apart from, like, I don't know, when you use it in a house. 0 degrees Celsius is no chance. Like, there's just so much less down in this, and this isn't a better quality down than that. That's better quality than this. So that should be able to actually compact more than this should. Now, this thing, I'll put up how much it cost, but it wasn't far off the cost of that. This was like 210 quid, and I think that was 230. I mean, I'll have import fees to pay on that. I can't remember the exact cost, so I'll put them up, but it was a waste of £200 basically. And then I also got this. You might have seen Darwin Onthetrail mention this. But that again, what I'd started doing was I was carrying this and this. This is a full sleeping bag, mummy's sleeping bag. I was going inside this and I was putting this over the top of me. And even in my Ghost Whisperer, I still felt cold some mornings when the temperature was like 8 degrees Celsius. So, and those two together come to about 1 kilogram. So it's like, it's just not any use, that. Now, if I get my Zpacks bag out, let's see how the materials feel. As you can see, they're kind of similarly coloured. This is the Zpacks and this is the Enlightened equipment. And then on the Zpacks, it's got a black inner, and this is more a charcoal. So they're quite similar looking. So I like that. That satisfies my like OCD a wee bit, you know. The Zpacks Full Zip does actually have a closed box. The zip comes down to here, but the very end is still closed off. If I look at the people moaned about this foot box being too narrow, but I didn't find it. I think they widened it. I've not found that to be the case. And if I hold them up, I don't think there's that much of a difference in that. No, there's not. Of course, this is more down in it. It's a different rated bag, but I've got a. I've had a couple of these in this Zpacks bag. I'll try and pull them through from the other side. There you go. There. So if you get one sticking out, grab the back and try and pull it back in. Don't pluck it out. Now, I don't know if see with these down bags, I do think, see if you stuff them in, the lighter the exterior fabric, the more delicate it's going to be, so the more you're going to get this happening with these feathers sticking through. There's another one that I've just pulled through. So in terms of loft, it's really, I mean, don't get me wrong, see the Zpacks 10 degree quilt, it's when you get it and you get air into it and it lofts up, it's thick as anything. This is thick as well. I mean, a more accurate comparison would not be the Zpacks, but the Thermarest, because this is closer. Because in degrees Celsius, this is -12, and this is -6, and this is 0. It's not really a better comparison, is it? Because there's 6 degrees difference between them all. But if you look at the amount of loft, I don't know if you can see this accurately. If you look at the amount of loft in that's -12 or 10. Bearing in mind this is just out the box, so it's not had a chance to loft up properly. It's been stuffed in the storage box. You see the loft there? Corus is basically just like, it's just like material, isn't it? It's as if there's no down in there at all. This has got horizontal baffles that go across you, so when you're sleeping, the down actually slips off the top of you to the sides, and they say like, oh, that's good because it's warmer, you can put the down to the sides, and when it's cooler, you know, shake the down into the middle. To me that sounds, but like that doesn't sound right. Like, why would you want to do that? Surely if it's warmer because it's a quilt, you just move it off. I don't know why people have the horizontal rather than vertical baffles along the upper part of your body. The Enlightened equipment Revelation and the Zpacks ones both have vertical baffles, and it stops it coming off of you. So As for the material, I'd said it felt kind of waxy, but now when I feel it against the Zpacks one, it feels kind of similar actually. Yeah, I don't think it's any different. The Zpacks stuff kind of, maybe just because it's in black, it looks shinier actually. Whereas on the, might just be all this crazy lighting and there's not really anything in it, I wouldn't say. And with the Enlightened equipment bags, you can get all different types of material, external material, so different colours and in different weights. But I think this is going to be perfect for what I need in a 3-season bag. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm Scottish. And I go hiking in Scotland, and you know, not that long ago it was getting down to 8 degrees Celsius at night. And this is summer, this is the height of summer. So that opens right out like that. This is why I like quilts, because you can give it all this and sit there in the morning. The reason why I decided to go with the Revelation over the Enigma is I wanted the fact that I could open it out into a quilt, because I will be using this in summer as well. So if it does get roasting hot, I can just use it as a quilt rather than not be able to use it as effectively as a quilt, like half a quilt, because the Enigma still has the foot box all sewn up. Now I do sleep kind of cold, and I've got like I've got Zpacks down hood, because these are quilts, and I have Zpacks down booty things. So I do find them to be good. I started bringing more clothes, I started bringing more additional things, and I was like, do you know what, I just want a sleeping bag that's adequate. And that Thermarest Corus HD with the Lanshan, no not Lanshan, with the Aegismax thing, that just wasn't adequate for me in Scotland at night, even with that other hingway. Just out of interest, I'll get into the Zpacks Full Zip broad and long bag, just to show you the difference. So of course I can zip this all the way up because it is a sleeping bag, and it comes up higher than I remember. I've not used this since winter. Oh aye, look how high that comes up. It comes up just as high, if not a wee bit higher. So I would say there's not much in it in terms of length. I can't be bothered, it's too hot to go in back in the Revelation, but I would say there's not much in it in terms of length. I'm 6'2" and that's what you get up to there. So you can really get inside it, and I've got a massive chest and I've still got space for my arms. Oh, why did I choose to do this? 20.7 degrees Celsius. This is rare. There's another feather coming out. Anytime you see one though, just go in and grab it from behind and pull it back through. It's not much of a problem. And that's from the Zpacks bag, not the Enlightened equipment one. So I'm going to be going out this weekend, so I'll trial this then. But I think this will be plenty warm. I'll be mostly using it zipped up. Oh yeah, and I've got another bag that I use for when I'm car camping, a synthetic thing. Look at the size of that. Don't know why I brought that out, I just grabbed all the sleeping bags I had. This is just an unboxing and initial thoughts. It's not a proper review, and I just thought I'd do a quick comparison against some of the other bags that I've got. I will do a proper review on it once I've actually used it a wee bit and let you know how I get on and the temperatures that I find it's actually well rated for. But if it's well made. One thing that had happened on my Zpacks, because it was winter, I was wearing like leggings and they had a zip on it, a little zipper, and like running tights, and they caught in some of the vertical stitching and pulled a thread right out. So one of the vertical baffles has got about half a foot. The thread pulled out, which was quite upsetting. And I'm just trying to see if the stitching's, I can't tell. The stitching seems a little narrower and a little tighter in the Enlightened equipment quilt. It's hard to tell. It just makes it easier if you've got something loose to catch on a sort of looser stitch. If it wasn't for the difference in price, I would have probably been tempted to go for the 20 degree full zip Zpacks bag, because I do think this is really good quality. The Zpacks quilt is really good. I was super impressed how much loft. It just seems really well made. A really good quality product. So sometimes you want to stick with what you know, but the Enlightened equipment quilt was cheaper, and you know, it's always good to try new things, isn't it? And I do like the fact that, you know, it's the features that it's got. Gee, I'm glad I got this. It seems decent. So we'll test it out and I'll let you know how I get on. If you want to actually see me lay these out, not in a caravan, so where you can actually see them laid out on a big table or something side by side, and check the loft and the length and the width and all that stuff. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make a video comparing the two. Again, it's not really apples for apples because they're rated differently, but just for materials and sizing and all that sort of stuff, it should give you a good enough idea. So if you want to see that, let us know, especially if you want to see them against the likes of this chap. Like, I would not recommend getting this. I'll probably make a video on this itself. It's just like, it's too light. The down just doesn't, it's not lofty enough. The down moves, which is a shame because it's, you know, it's not inexpensive. Anyway, see you later.